Hello, everyone, dear viewers of the channel. I am Halyna, the guardian of secrets, a researcher of mystical phenomena, and here with me is Vadym, a historian interested in folk culture.
Good evening, Halyna, and to all our listeners. Always a pleasure to dive into the unseen with you, even if I usually have my geological pickaxe ready for closer inspection.
Tonight, Vadym, we're stepping into places that whisper forgotten stories, places often avoided, even feared. We're talking about abandoned houses in Ukrainian mystical lore, those structures that stand silent, slowly yielding to nature, yet brimming with an undeniable, sometimes sinister energy.
Ah, the dilapidated homesteads, the crumbling cottages. Visually striking, yes, but brimming with sinister energy? I'd say they're brimming with dust, rot, and perhaps a family of field mice. From a historical perspective, these places are often simply remnants of changing demographics, economic hardship, or the tragic impact of war and famine. People leave, houses fall into disrepair. It's a natural process.
Perhaps, Vadym, but Ukrainian folklore tells a different tale. These aren't just empty shells. They are vessels where the past has congealed. It's believed that a house, especially one where a family lived for generations, develops its own soul, a spiritual essence. When it's abandoned, particularly if the departure was sudden or tragic, that essence, along with the spirits of its inhabitants, doesn't simply vanish. They linger.
Lingering spirits, you say? So we're talking about unquiet souls? Perhaps a domovyk, house spirit left without a family to care for? Or something more malevolent?
Precisely. A domovyk, usually a benevolent protector, can turn mischievous or even resentful if abandoned. But there are also more unsettling entities. Imagine a house where someone died tragically, perhaps by violence or suicide, or a place where unspeakable sorrow resided. Legends tell of potopilici or zlydni, spirits of misfortune that can attach themselves to such dwellings. People often report a palpable sense of unease, cold spots, strange noises, or even the feeling of being watched when near or inside these houses. Some say the very air is heavy, and if you listen closely on a moonless night, you can hear the faint sounds of arguments, weeping, or even lullabies that died decades ago, echoing from rooms that are now just empty spaces.
The human mind is incredibly adept at pattern recognition, Halyna, even when there are no patterns. Cold spots can be drafts. Old structures settling make noises. And the feeling of being watched? That's often a psychological response to an unfamiliar, decaying, and potentially dangerous environment. Our brains are wired for self-preservation. A house that's falling apart is dangerous, structurally. And the stories you mention, arguments, weeping, could these not be attributed to collective memory and the power of suggestion? If a village knows a tragic history associated with a house, it's only natural for people to project those narratives onto the sounds and sights around it.
Yet, the warnings are deeply ingrained. In many villages, walking past an abandoned house at dusk, especially if it belonged to someone known for an unkind heart or a tragic fate, is strictly avoided. There are even beliefs that entering such a place can attract misfortune, illness, or even lead to possession. Children are explicitly forbidden. This isn't just about structural safety, it's about spiritual safety.
And I would argue that such prohibitions serve a powerful social function. In traditional communities, these stories might have been a way to maintain order, keep children safe from dangerous ruins, or even preserve the memory and respect for the departed, regardless of their kindness. Think of how many illnesses were once attributed to curses, when in reality, they were simply infections. The curse attached to a house might have been a way to keep people away from places that could harbor diseases or attract wild animals.
But what about the rituals? The attempts to cleanse an abandoned house before new life can begin there, often involving salt, herbs, or special prayers. If it's just a dilapidated building, why would such measures be necessary? Why the fear of carrying something out of such a house, like a simple piece of pottery, believing it might bring bad luck?
These rituals are fascinating, Halyna, because they highlight our need for psychological closure and control. Whether it's smudging with herbs, using salt, or performing prayers, these acts symbolically reset a space. They cleanse it, not necessarily of spirits, but of the lingering emotional baggage, the association with past sorrow or misfortune. It's about making a place feel safe again, culturally and psychologically, for the new inhabitants. It's an affirmation of hope and a break from the past.
So, you believe it's all purely psychological or cultural symbolism, with no room for genuine unexplainable phenomena? What about the accounts of objects moving on their own, or shadows seen in empty windows? People truly believe they are encountering something beyond the mundane.
I believe that the human experience of the world is rich and complex. Our brains are constantly trying to make sense of our surroundings, especially when faced with ambiguity. Shadows can be tricks of light, wind can shift old objects, and the power of suggestion, especially when combined with powerful local legends, can create incredibly vivid experiences. I'm not saying people don't see or feel these things. I'm suggesting there are often rational, often overlooked explanations for why they do. Our ancestors might not have had our understanding of physics or psychology, so they naturally attributed the unexplainable to the supernatural.
And in doing so, they imbued these places with a mystique that resonates even today. For me, it's not just about what is scientifically provable. It's about the stories themselves, how they shaped communities, and how they remind us that the human spirit, whether living or lingering, leaves an indelible mark.
We'd love to hear your own experiences with abandoned places or old family legends related to them. Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Indeed, the cultural resonance is undeniable, and perhaps that's the double conclusion we often reach. While I may seek the historical or psychological underpinning, the power of these stories, their ability to shape our perception of place and past, is a very real force. They remind us of the fragility of life and home and the echoes of those who came before us.
Exactly. These abandoned houses, whether truly haunted or simply symbolic, serve as poignant reminders of lives lived, joys shared, and sorrows endured. They are, in their own silent way, guardians of history, whispering secrets to those willing to listen beyond the decay.
A fascinating perspective, Vadym. While I'll still approach with a healthy dose of historical skepticism, I will certainly look at the next crumbling cottage with a renewed appreciation for its layered narrative.
And that's the magic of our journey, Vadym. Thank you for joining us tonight on this exploration of forgotten places. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the mystical world of Ukrainian folklore.
Until next time, stay curious and perhaps a little cautious around those old silent houses.